Good morning. My name is Carolyn Bryant, and I am a Master Resilience Trainer and also an Army Community Service Family Advocacy Program Specialist. I've been doing resilience classes for about a year, and part of our training is that we also go through the training as well, so we know what it's like to be on the participant side. Just adding to something that Michelle was saying about optimism. How many of you feel like you're natural optimists? All right, so maybe half. Okay. All hope is not lost, okay? Because all of the MRT competencies are learnable skills. I just want to emphasize that. These are not things that you either have or you don't. All of them are things that you can build upon, learn ways to make them work for you. Maybe some you're better at naturally than others, but they all are able to be learned, okay? So this module is referring to hunting the good stuff, and this would fall under the MRT competency of optimism, okay? Overall, it builds positive emotion, such as gratitude, appreciating the little things, okay? And they've done studies about this, about the benefits of gratitude. One of the things that Hunt the Good Stuff does is it counteracts what's called the negativity bias. What do you guys think that is? Negativity bias.
It's when we react to something that's negative, but don't always react when things are positive.
Absolutely. Very well put. It is our tendency as human beings to naturally focus on the negative before we do the positive, to give more weight to the negative. Have you ever been having a really good day, you're on top of the world, and then something happens and it just brings you all the way down? So it counteracts all the good things that happen because we focus more on the negative. This is a natural tendency. Everybody does it. They've done studies on even infant children. They'll show them images that are considered positive or negative or neutral. And then they've done the same thing on adults, and they measure the neural activity. And brains react more strongly to negative stimuli. Why do we do that? Because of survival. That's what it all comes down to. When you're driving in your car, you don't really process all of the activities and the stimuli that are taking place. You're not thinking about the way that the car seat feels on your body, how your hands are touching the steering wheel, what you're seeing. But if a deer runs in front of your car, you're going to react. Survival. So we learn to naturally process the positive things or the normal things and not really go out of our way to react to them. But if something bad happens or it's considered dangerous, we will immediately react and we will remember it. It burns into our memories, okay? That's why this lesson is called Hunt for the Good Stuff. Because since we have a natural tendency to focus on the negative, it takes extra effort to focus on the positive, all right? I'll give you another example of negativity bias. I recently went on Amazon. I was looking for a juicer, okay? And who knew juicers were so complex? They have masticating juicers and centrifugal juicers, and I was like, I have no idea. So I started reading the reviews. Some of the juicers had, and I go by like who has the most reviews, because then the most people have tried it and everything else. I found one that had like 798 reviews. 11 of those reviews were negative. There were 1 out of 5 or whatever the level is. Don't buy this juicer. This is a horrible juicer. As soon as I opened the box and plugged it in, it didn't work. It broke after 2 weeks. It didn't function the way that I thought it was going to. So I was like, oh, this juicer is a piece of crap, But think about it, 11 out of 798. And I let those 11 or those 2 or 3 swayed me because of the negativity bias. But having learned resilient skills, I said, well, why don't I look at this, get some perspective, because that's another skill. Get some perspective and let's look at the proportion. So 798 minus 11 is 787, right? So 787 people thought it was the best juicer ever. But just because 11 of them had a bad experience, that's pretty good odds. So that's one of the ways to counteract the negativity bias. Step back and get perspective, okay? Okay, so one of the assignments for resilience training is your Hunt the Good Stuff journal. It's in the back of your participant guide, and what your homework is going to be every day is exactly that, hunt the good stuff. You are going to try to identify 3 positive things that you experience every day. This is a 2-day course, so you're only going to be doing it for today, and then you'll come in tomorrow and share if you'd like. But I highly encourage you to continue to do this every day. And the reason for that is because, again, it takes effort. You have to, in order for positive experiences to burn into your mind the same way that negative ones do, you have to take time to recognize them, appreciate them, and reflect on them. What was it about that that made that positive for me? How can I make these positive events continue? Okay? So those are the questions that they're going to ask you every time. And this is something that once you continue to practice it, when something happens, something negative happens, you can pow, 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 and get some perspective and say, actually, if I were to look at the entire scope of this situation, that really wasn't that bad. You kind of reframe the way you listen to things. An example is, let's say you were given a presentation, or you wrote a paper for school, and you got feedback that said, well written, funny, informative, uplifting, but it was a little too long. What do you focus in on the most? No, it's a little too long. Yeah, but it was funny, informative, well written, and uplifting too. It ran a little bit long. Okay, so it ran a little bit long. Lesson learned. Next time I will keep that in mind. So instead of ruminating on the negative, put it in perspective, take it in, absolutely. It's feedback, it's a lesson learned, it will make you stronger, it will make you more resilient, but don't overemphasize the negative. Because when you do that, you miss opportunities to notice the positive, okay? And this gets easier with time, and again, some people are natural optimists, some people need to work a little harder at it, all right? So that will be your homework assignment for tonight, to find the 3 good things, and we'll remind you later on. All right, so what is this skill? It's used to notice positive experiences to enhance optimism, gratitude, and other positive emotions. When do I use it? On a regular basis, to counteract the negativity bias. Again, it takes effort to do this. It's deliberate effort. How do I use it? You're going to write down 3 positive experiences every day. Take time to reflect on them so that they burn into your memory. And if you'd like, you can share with other people. And in doing that, you're enhancing the optimism of people around you as well. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Okay, thank you very much for your time.